rivals, welcome to Back's Attacks, and thanks for joining in as we're looking at some of the first attacks in the arena, the first 2 hours up here as a Stronghold level 9. We'll jump right into it, taking the medium base on this one, and because it is Ice Knight, I'm prone to use Forvel on most attacks and Zolonia on most other ones. On this base, we have only 3 spell towers, and one of them is a freeze, so this would be a good choice for Forvel, and so we'll come in opposite the Curse Tower and the Flame Tower. First we'll get up whatever free mana we can, so kind of a pretty normal attack pattern here. Alright, so we made a little bit of a hole, and we're going to march right on in. The way I mostly use Taliesin in these attacks is to follow up with the troops and to finish off the stronghold. I do hope to find Viscaria in the arena, maybe even tonight. You never know. I think I will find a pretty cool ancient tonight. We'll see on that though. With Viscaria, I like to sweep a lot more. With Taliesin, I like the high DPS, not quite the hit points of a Viscaria. And so I just use the different dragons a little bit differently, and when I'm using Forvel as a dragon, that freezing ability is quite nice, and don't use him for sweeping or for finishing as much as for crowd control. Okay, so on this base there are a trio of freeze towers up top. The Frost Shield will make us immune to that and give us damage reduction, so that's a perfect spell to use here. And it's not a overly high level base, something we should be able to handle. Because I'm using mostly low level spells, just spamming the first one whether I'm using Forvel or Zolonia, I'm not using my beloved Mana Hunters quite as much on these attacks. Now in this path, actually, with that Watchtower upgrading coming in from the south was also quite good. Either direction I think would have worked on that one. And I'm stopping the attack right after the stronghold goes down in order to get through them quickly. As a very low stronghold in the arena, my fear is that I'm going to get just hammered overnight. And I've heard stories and have had a friend who had that experience, and that's really frustrating to be able to get into the arena after such a long effort and then to get knocked out immediately. So I'm doing the best I can, staying up late tonight in order to try to get as many cups between me and the boot out point of 4750. Have a few gems that we got earlier in preparation for this this evening. Don't spend large amounts on the game, but do like to thank the developers once in a while with a small purchase here and there, and battle stones and gems are a good use for that. I found that a lot of the other things you could use the diamonds for, such as speeding up your troops, while it's a handy thing, is also very expensive. Alright, this one is the hard base, but just feeling like trying out Tal and see how he works on this. He's really too low level. This may not be a good move. I've got the double conduit on the spell towers, so if I don't freeze them out, I'm going to get just annihilated. So the approach here is going to be to build up as much mana as we possibly can, lock down, and preferentially make the spell towers go boom. And for a little added boost, we're going to use the Mana Hunters to help us out. Alright, so we'll drop down the soldiers to distract, take out the Watchtower, and then start to soak up as much mana as we can. There's really no other anti-air down south, that's why I even am thinking about taking on this base. If it weren't for the lack of any anti-air down south, there's really no way I would take this one on. But you can see from here just how far the dragon is able to penetrate into the base, and so watching out that I don't run out of time is going to be the big concern here. Alright, so we're going to come in at this direction, so we're taking on 2 and not all 4 of the towers at once. We got a lot of mana going, that's good. We'll use Scorched Heat on the first 2, then either explode those or use them on the next two. I think we're gaining mana quick enough, but we can't wait too long to get the fourth. So there we go. We use the Darkened Skies to eliminate all three of the towers. We use another 5 mana on Scorch Heat to get that last one. And oh, this is close, but I think, yep, the Warden's got it. So that may not have been a smart attack, but I just saw the vulnerability in the south, a lack of anti-air, and decided to go for it. Getting some pretty gold up here in the arena, that's going to be very helpful. Jumped up to, well, started the upgrade for Stronghold 10 right away. I've had the rings for that for quite some time. And we're looking to start Stronghold 11 just as soon as that one completes. And while that's working through, we'll want to upgrade the Blacksmith and start catching up on the troop upgrades. Ooh, here's nice. Love to see this. Usually they stick the Stronghold even further out in the corner if they're going to SWAT, but that's great. We'll take the free honor and the free arena chest from that. Thanks, Groovy Dog. Appreciate it. And like a shiny or a squirrel, I completely lost whatever my train of thought was. Oh, I think it was along the lines of keeping an eye carefully for vulnerabilities on bases and don't just pass on them because you think it's too high a stronghold level. Each base is worth looking at. And finally, our first attack of the evening. I'm really surprised, to be honest, that this took just about an hour of being in the arena before I was attacked. I really thought that I would be attacked within the first couple minutes up here, and attacked really every few minutes after that. So the fact that we've gone over an hour without getting attacked once is real good. Now, obviously, he's just going to make mincemeat of the base. The dragon wiped out not only the conduit, Prime's conduit, but also half the base. Using Taliesin or Lyris, whatever, he just mauling the base. So that's totally expected. That's going to happen every time we're attacked in the arena. But that's okay. It's a question of how often we are attacked. Alright, so we'll jump in on another attack here. And on this base, notice that there is a upgrading spell tower. The catapults are really spread out. And I think this one, although it's a hard difficulty, this one looks not too bad. Notice also on the left side there, the Skywatcher is upgrading. And so that's some extra free mana at the start as well. I just cycle through the other bases quickly to see if there's an easier one, but this is the one I think I want to hit. And if we come in the side opposite the Freeze Tower and the Flame Tower on the left, then I think Zalonia is going to be a good choice on this one. We won't really have to worry too much about the Curse Tower when we're using Zalonia. Alright, now she's pretty low level for me, so I'll definitely need to get as much mana as I can before we start here. With the Skywatcher upgrading, we'll be able to get some over here very nicely. And then look right below it, there's another, looks like a watchtower that is upgrading as well. So again, this is why you can't jump too quickly and say nope to a hard base. Sometimes it's actually easier than the easy ones. We got a nice hole opening here. We might just come in from this side. In fact, let's do that. We'll get frozen, but that's okay. The troops are so close to the Freeze Tower, and the Freeze Tower is not being boosted by the Primus Conduit, and so its rate of fire is going to let us get some good damage in between the freezings. So whether or not the Freeze Tower is being boosted by the Primus Conduit is a major factor in determining whether or not Zalonia is going to be effective. If there's two Primus Conduits on the Freeze Tower, you really are going to get locked up. You won't get to move or to do any damage, but off a Conduit it's a much better choice. Alright, and here's the last attack I'm going to show in this video. And what I notice in this one is an almost complete absence of anti-air protection from this bottom south side of the base. There's a large number of walls down there, but instead of being on a very tight pattern, you notice there's a lot of spacing between the walls, and that's something that we can take advantage of. Take a quick peek through, make sure there's nothing like a empty stronghold in the corner, but otherwise we're going to come back and hit this hard base. And thankfully, because it's Ice Knight, I get to use a special purpose ancient that is going to help with that I don't normally get to break out. We use a little bit of those stones we have saved up, and we're going to be using Hagar. That first spell, if I think the wall's strong enough, we'll need 2 of them at his level, but if we pop that open where the spacing of the walls is fairly wide, we'll be able to drop all the troops in there, come in from the north, probably take out the stronghold itself, and even if we don't, as long as we take out those 2 watchtowers, the dragon will be able to snipe it. So to do that, we have to get to 10 mana. That's really all we need. So we'll pop open the hole right there specifically. Now, see that deploy gap now? So we pop in all the troops there quickly. Gotta get the dragon. Oh, shoot. Needed to get him over before he died. That was just plain sloppy. Alright, now the other good spell of Hagar is his second one, the free spell. And we just need a short time period to be able to get the tanks up front, wardens behind, and that stronghold goes down. So, by using a very rare ancient, maybe we'll get a very rare and special reward here. What will we find in this arena chest? Could I really be that lucky? On the first night in the arena, you will definitely want to check out next episode. Thanks for watching.